But this was England passing them off the park as well. It wasn't just the fact that we beat them. The quality of the goals was amazing. So we've just seen England absolutely batter the Netherlands 4-1. And it was special. It was magnificent. It was majestic. But lads, was this England's best ever performance?
Mate, it's up there, isn't it? I mean, the game in Munich, the 5-1 in Munich's up there as well. But this was the moment, I think, for Euro 96. This is the moment it came alive. You see it, don't you, in tournament football, when the home nation are buzzing. Like we saw it in Russia. When the home nation do well, it makes the tournament just that little bit more electric. And this was a day, you know, we'd had a fairly poor result against the Swiss. A good day at the office against Scotland, but this is a day we came alive against potential tournament winners.
It's also because you have an Arsenal captain leading the way. You understand? Tony Adams, you understand, great leader. You understand, great leader of men. You understand, title winner. You know, knows how to get a reaction out of his players. It wasn't just a great attacking performance plan. It was a great defensive performance plan from Southgate, from Stuart Pearce on the left back, safe hands, David Seaman at the back. You know, the whole team actually performed, blood. You get me? And it was the time for Bergkamp versus Gaza, and I have to be real. Gaza outshone him still. You get me? Gaza was running. He was running the program.
Do you know what I love about that performance? It was meant to be that the Dutch were going to come to us and show us how to play football. They were going to show us this silky football. They had the likes of, you know, young Clarence Seedorf. They had Bergkamp. They had Jordi Cruyff. They had all these incredibly technically brilliant players. But this was England passing them off the park as well. It wasn't just the fact that we beat them. The quality of the goals was amazing. The one that always sticks in mind is Shearer's one where basically Gaza beat the man, played across to Sheringham, then he played
Sheringham
across
touched
to him.
it,
touched across, and that weird finish with the outside of his boot into the top corner. I was like 10, 11 years old watching that, and that stuck in my mind. And it was the quality of the football. It was just, it was great football.
It was a lesson for the Dutch in total football. They were
meant to embarrass us. They were meant to show us how it was played, but we literally did what they were going to do to us.
It was. I think that was a day that people suddenly went, "This is special. We could win this. This is
the crowd."
Yeah,
as you were saying, Rory, like when you hear the buzz watching it back, and you hear that buzz in the crowd. Goosebumps just thinking about it right now. Honestly, the whole country was behind that team. Like, to an extent, I've probably not already seen in my lifetime other than that. Like, everyone was totally swept up in the mania going around it. And it was the kind of moment that you just don't forget. And you kind of really, like, I was always a big football fan at that age, but if there was any doubt, that kind of stuff stamps it home because it was just special, genuinely special.
We knew that we had good players in that squad. Like, you've got to remember, I don't know, somebody like Robbie Fowler, he was in that squad, he couldn't get a game. That's how good we were. That's how good we were then. And it just makes me worry, you know, lads. Have we missed the boat on winning the tournament? Are we going to have a chance like that?
We did get as far as we did there at the World Cup, which is crazy. But it's mad, isn't it, how that seems more... I think maybe that team was more convincing than the England team. We did, you know, we got to the semi-finals of the World Cup, but we never really felt we had the kind of game like the Holland game did, where we won 4-1. We never had a moment like that. And I think you do need a moment like that to give you that conviction that you're going to get there, because... I think that's what this team lacks, that kind of game, that kind of big moment to bring everyone together.
I agree. In the World Cup, it felt like every time we came up against a team that were better than us, we lost. You know, we lost to Belgium, and then anytime that we had a tough game, we lost it. Whereas in this tournament, in 96, Holland is a tough game. They're a really tough game. And we played them off the park. And the very nature that we won it, not only did we win it, but they couldn't get the ball off us, man. You know, we were so good.
Because you know what, as well, that was a team. That was a team full of men. The mentality of them players, I don't think players have that kind of mentality nowadays. Do you understand? I think the England team now has got a lot better, and I think Southgate's got a lot to do with that. I think he's put the passion back into the players for playing for the country. But I think that era, you had man like Inson there who got his head bust. You understand? Terry Butcher Part 2. You understand? Now, man ain't doing that, blood. Obviously, man ain't allowed to do that now, but you get what I'm saying, innit? There was more desire, there was more hunger.
There was a team of leaders up to that team.
All captains at
Neville, and they're all like, even Seaman was a statesman, you know. You got Neville, Pearce. I'm looking at the team now. Ince, Adams, Southgate captained.
Steve, do you know what? This is how good England Euro 96 were. This is how good we were. Paul Ince is in the team, and he's not captain.
Nah.
And he's not captain.
Probably not even close to being first captain either, that's the thing about it.
Yeah.
But the great Tony Adams is in that team, you get me? So the golden era, for me, is 94 till 2000, blood. For me, that is the golden era. I think the other era, Lampard, Beckham, and all that, I think they're more household names, isn't it? But I don't think, for me, they can't even be compared to that era, blood. Because they couldn't even get past the quarterfinal. You get me?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, mate. I think that the 96 team is better than the 2002 team. Everybody will tell you Japan, Korea was the golden generation, but for me, it's far less inspiring. Yeah. Also, you've got to we put so much stock in managers. You're going to have El Tel every day of the week over Sven Goran Eriksson. So if it's a golden generation, it's kind of irrelevant when it's Eriksson or Venables. I don't think. Also, I genuinely believe that we were going to win Euro 96. I genuinely believe that. I don't really remember thinking that we were going to win the World Cup in Korea and Japan. I thought we'd had a chance. I thought we'd do okay, but ultimately, as soon as we came up against Ronaldinho, we were going to lose, and that's what happened.
I think that era, could actually, they could perform in the big game because they smoked Germany 5-1 away, blood. You understand?
Yeah.
So, I think it's after that era, that's when the bottle job mentality came into it.
But to remember that we didn't even qualify for that World Cup properly. We had to go into a playoff.
Yeah.
We weren't quite as inspiring, I don't think. Look, I think on paper, the team is probably... on paper, the team may even be better. But in terms of watching it click, in terms of watching them play, I don't think you can compare it. I just don't think that team in 2002, the best performance was what? A 1-0 win against Argentina via a penalty. That was the best performance. That's incomparable to playing the Dutch off the park.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can't argue with that, to be fair.
Have we played any matches as well as that you can remember?
The one that sticks out, England, but battering the Germans 5-1 in 2001, man. That was fun, wasn't it? We got to. It felt like revenge from '96 as well. That was the thing. We needed that moment. We needed that. It was kind of hanging over us after that game in '96, and going to Germany and beating them 5-1 away. The morale after that of that team. I mean, obviously it didn't really lead anything, but at that moment though, we felt we were watching something that could be special because we were seeing all these great players come through. We saw Owen bang a hat trick. We saw Heskey score against Germany. Against Germany. And it felt like anything was possible for a brief moment of time. And it was just fun. I'm sorry, beating your rivals is what football's all about. And there's not many bigger rivals in football than England, Germany. And that night was it was wild, wasn't it? Absolutely wild. It felt like everything we tried came off. It wasn't maybe as composed as the Holland game, but it was definitely fun. It was definitely as fun.
To go to Munich and win 5-1, blood. After being 1-0 down as well. Let's not forget that we were 1-0 down, and then Gerrard scored that mad free kick bang on half time. And then second half we just came out a different animal, and we just took it to them. And them and they got to the World Cup final that season, blood. And lost to Brazil, blood. And we battered the World Cup finalists 5-1, blood, in their own patch, fam. You understand? I don't think you'll ever see that kind of beatdown at that high level away from home. I think the performance against Netherlands, I think because it was in England, it was the Euros, the fans, the atmosphere. I think there was a lot to put into that performance, and I think that's why that performance was so good. I think the Germany performance was just a tactical performance, blood. It was just tactical, astute. We used our pace. We hit them at the right times, and we literally just clarted them off the pitch, blood. But the best footballing performance is Holland. The best tactical performance has to be Germany away.
One game for me that always kind of comes to mind is 2004. Do you know when we beat Croatia 4-2?
Yeah, Rory.
That was meant to be. I hate that game because it gave me false hope. That was meant to be the one where we were going to come this golden generation. That was their finest moment, and it was a group game. Rooney was like this young ball of energy, was phenomenal, alongside Owen, which is a hell of a partnership. Owen at that point was arguably one of the best strikers. Well, he was one of the best strikers in the world. And then we had the midfield. Everyone was there. All the big names: Beckham, Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes, a lot of them. And then that defence: Neville, Terry Campbell, Ashley Cole. It was a phenomenal side. And for that one game, we felt like we could see England actually go somewhere because it was full of intensity. It was full of incredible finishing. Really was absolutely phenomenal in that game. And individually, in terms of like games, that one was special. That Croatian team, there were no pushovers. You know, they had some good players as well. But it never happened, which kind of, whereas at least for the Euro 96 game, you know, there was also quality around that. But that was almost like a little bit of false hope, and it showed how good that side could have been. It's just a shame we didn't see more of it.
Yeah, the 2014 was good. It really was. But for some reason, again, I don't know what it is, but I'm always going to go back to that Euro 96 team. I think, look, the game against Germany was massive. We didn't even finish top of that group, though. It's a huge result in a vacuum. But in terms of the context, it meant very little. We didn't top the group. They went on to get to the final of the World Cup. It meant nothing. That game against Holland, it set the tournament alight. It set Euro 96 alight. And it was that day that the country suddenly said, we're going to win this. We are going to win this. You know, we won it at home in 66, and suddenly 96, it felt like this is it. It's going to happen.
Was that not our best performance, beating Germany 4-2 in the World Cup final? Surely that's it. I mean, like that team was sensational. They beat like Portugal and Argentina to get to the final. We beat Germany in a final. Surely that's it, though. I mean, obviously, none of us really remember that because we're not that old. But
England's greatest ever performance?
I mean, I didn't see it. I wasn't around then, Rory, unfortunately. But I mean, we know. But surely, like winning the World Cup by default is the great.
Yeah. I mean, well, you can play like Chelsea's greatest ever performance isn't the European Cup final. You know, he played better in games, but it's obviously the most memorable. But yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And that's our thoughts on England's greatest ever performance. I'm sure you're going to disagree down in the comments. Let us know if you think it was the Euro 96 team, or was it the World Cup, or was it one of the Golden Generation sides. Make sure to let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as well.